Hello, hello, hello. It's your new day with Donna Reiners and Dr. Cami Owen, where we solve all the world's problems, or maybe just one. And maybe it's yours. In our 30 minutes, we talk about your emotions and mind and how they tie into your body and spirit. We want you to renew and restore yourself in a world that wants you crazy. And sometimes we even talk about money. Introducing your hosts, Donna Reiners and Dr. Cami Owen. Hello, hello, hello. This is Donna Reiners and
Dr. Cami.
And this is definitely your new day. And we're going to talk about something that I don't know how to land in you, but some years back, I was walking down the pathway and I was thinking how I wanted to celebrate this other person's life. Like I just wanted to get them a gift. All these things were just flooding me. And I had this thought, which was revelation at the time, but now I know it's got some science affixed to it, which I didn't know. You know, the world's catching up with God and what he already put in place for all of us for life and living and goodness. And as I was walking, I began celebrating, and, you know, I'm kind of on the crazy end. So I start dancing, and I'm like, I'm by myself. It wouldn't have mattered probably if I hadn't been by myself. I probably would have done it anyway. But I'm just taking a moment, and I'm celebrating this other person. Mm-hmm. And I felt like God spoke to me and said, when you celebrate that person, you celebrate yourself. Mm-hmm. And he showed me that no matter where I am, no matter what I'm doing, if I'm doing it for someone else, it's like I'm doing it for myself. And it was such a awesome thought process for me because I love gifts. And so sometimes when you've been deprived, mm-hmm. you give gifts because you want gifts. Mm-hmm. You know, I know someone like that. And well, she doesn't really do it to get them, but she does it because she lacks them. Mm-hmm. She does lack them. And she does lack the revelation of that celebration. Mm-hmm. And so I send this person gifts from time to time because I know that it makes him happy. Mm-hmm. You know, mm-hmm. And this person is precious, just a precious woman. And she deserves to have happiness in her single life, you know. And so, you know, you're just progressing through life and you're realizing that to give really is to receive. You know, we talk about giving, you know, but really when you give, you are receiving. And if you're cognizant of it, you can really have a shift inside you. You can just really, truly have some happiness inside of you if you're alone, if you feel like nobody cares about you, which mm-hmm. I know people like that. Listen, mm-hmm. I bet everybody is at one time or another, maybe even just once in a whole lifetime, felt like nobody cared, mm-hmm. nobody noticed you, nobody knows anything about you, they don't see you dying on the vine, all those things that happen, you know, but giving, there's an exchange that takes place inside of you when you give, but when you acknowledge that, it's like it's you getting and you receiving. And I'm telling you, that's a healthy place to be, to celebrate every day, to mm-hmm. celebrate you every day, to celebrate life, to celebrate living, to celebrate your breath, to just to have that, I don't like the word happiness, but to have that giddy feeling, mm-hmm. because it's such a, it's such a light, L-I-G-H-T energy, that it's so deep. It's a deep but light energy, and it mm-hmm. keeps, I think, now I don't know the science on this, but I feel like when you have that kind of thing happening with you most of the time, I feel like that moves toxins out of your body. I feel like it energetically shifts things in you. I feel like you attract things to you that you wouldn't mm-hmm. have attracted to you otherwise. I feel like you're shifting relationally with yourself, with God, with humanity. And I feel like if you celebrated, and I'll say one more thing, I will be quiet, but there was a season, it was for a couple of months, I kept breaking things. Like, I was dropping things. I'm like, I don't know what's going on. I did not investigate further, like physically something going on with me. I took the revelation instead. I said, no, we're not. I'm not going to the doctor for this.
Yes.
We're gonna go with the revelation. And so I would drop something and I just jump. I'd go, yay, I dropped it. Yay, I broke it. And I would just, I'm like, I'm shifting this. I'm not feeling bad about this. I'm not feeling guilty. Oh my gosh, that was an antique. That was an heirloom. Yay, I broke an heirloom. Yeah, I'm like, other people would have thought that was insanity. But I went through this this renovation inside me took place over a couple of months, and I just think it's a powerful, energetic, but also intimate and personal space that you yourself can govern and become anew. So now, Dr. Cammie, give me what you got.
Well, that's a perfect example of how we are actually not disconnected. We all are one. So in reality, when you're giving to someone else, you are actually giving to yourself.
Love it.
And when you're talking about this revelation of, well, I broke something, that's, I know I've said this many times during this show about the things that we think we don't like, to love it. And that's in reality, that's what that looks like. Instead of making it wrong and, oh shoot, I broke this thing, you love it, and actually you're oscillating energy at a very high level, and it actually transmutes anything that's negative about that thing.
Oh, I love it.
That makes sense?
Yes.
So, like if you have like physical pain and I don't want to hurt, funny story, yesterday I went to the clinic to get a massage because I'm not only the hair club president, I'm also a member. Do you remember those commercials back in the day?
No.
Do you remember that? Yeah, it's a commercial where one of the first commercials about hair loss for men, and it was hair club, men's hair club membership, and he was talking about how great it is and everything, and at the end of the commercial, he's like, I'm not only the president, I'm also a member, and they show him with no hair, and then he has a full head of hair. So it was a joke, and it's not funny when you have to.
I love it. It's good.
You have to explain it. But anyway, I was up there getting a massage, and
because you're a member.
Because I'm a member, and I do walk this walk. I don't just tell people to do stuff. I don't ask anybody to do anything I'm not already doing myself. So I was up there getting a massage, because when people say, "Oh, I'm busy, I can't get up there," and look, you're not any busier than I am, and I still make time for myself, because that self-care is so important. And we can talk about that later. But when he was massaging me, and I've been, it's Christmas time, getting Christmas stuff down and hauling it from the attic down, and it can cause some tightness and tenseness in your body. So I went and got a massage, and he was getting in there, and it wasn't particularly comfortable, because I was really
not comfortable anyway.
Really knotted up, and I was like, instead of going, ow, it hurts, and because it that would be one way you could interpret what I was feeling, that it's painful and I don't want to do this. I was just kept saying, I love what I feel. I love what I feel. And he started laughing, because he understands what the sacred language and everything. But it was interesting. I was as soon as I actually started saying that, the pain just transmuted like that. So try that, whether it's physical pain, emotional pain, something that you perceive as negative, to try this. Just love it. Love it like it's the best thing that's ever happened to you in your life. And I know you're probably thinking, Kimmy, that's crazy.
Yeah,
it's actually not, because, again, your voice, your thoughts are frequency, and it causes a transmutation of the energy. So if you have something that's oscillating down here, if you bombard it with something up here, it'll.
And you have to respond anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, you you're going to have some kind of reaction. And so I think if we train our reactions
Yes.
to move into responding, like I react like this automatically. Okay, but if you notice, oh, wait, I always react like this. Like, I bet right now you're thinking about, oh, I react this, this, and this. I do this, this, and this when we're discussing this. Why don't you, for a minute, see that reacting, and then change that reacting to responding.
Mm-hmm.
Change it to, okay, when that happens in the future, I'm going to methodically, intentionally, on purpose, respond a different way instead of automatically, oh my God.
Yeah.
It's like, you're going to go, ah, you're going to take a deep breath. Oh, well, and you're just going to methodically do something different. So you can renovate that place in your mind. And I know I talk about processes, the process of renovation. And honestly, you can do that quickly if you do it with such intention that your body starts following. Your body starts responding with intention versus, because it's going to follow your thoughts. When you start changing your mind and which is the renovation, you start renewing your mind, start renovating your mind in these practical, normal things.
Yep.
Your body will start automatically doing what you tell it to do. But right now, your body's probably leading in some way because it's a knee-jerk reaction. Yep. It's always been doing that for 20 years.
Yep. And
so you have I don't like to use the word authority, but really you do. We get to govern ourselves.
Yes.
I have I'll just say my sister Sandy, she's been a caregiver for a very, very long time. 27 years.
Wow.
That's almost 30 years. I mean, that's a long time. And in the beginning days, it wasn't like it is now.
Yeah.
So, there wasn't always times of like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. There wasn't. But she got this app, I think the Gaia app or something like that. Mm-hmm. And every hour on the hour, it gives her a new intention.
Oh, wow.
It gives her a positive thought, and 9 times out of 10, she's like, doggone it, that's exactly what I needed right this minute. She's in the middle of maybe the 5th change that's taking place. And she's like, oh my goodness, I'm up to here. I'm done, Not because she doesn't love, but because she just did it. It's like when you're a mom and, in the beginning days, it's all sweet, cuckoo, yummy, oh, precious baby. And then all of a sudden they start yelling like, oh no, precious gone.
And no sleep. And
no sleep. And all of a sudden there's, 10 diaper changes because there's something going on. You're like, oh no, I didn't know it was going to be like this.
Well, that's why babies are so cute, so you don't kill them.
That's right. So if you can take your thought process and maybe exchange on the inside the intention of loving that person. And see, this is the thing. When we love in a place where it's just sacrifice, like I'm sacrificing myself. There's scripture about, we had one sacrifice. And we can talk theologically about all that all day long, and we're never going to really know that we know until we transition. So, whatever. But if we already had that sacrifice, what would happen if we did live like we had an exchange life? Mm-hmm. And what if instead of, before I move forward, this is not about my sister at this point. I'm just giving an example of something, okay? I'm not pointing the finger at my sister, what I'm about to say. I just want to make that clear. We don't need any rivalries.
Right.
But what if, instead of, if you're in a situation where you feel like you're giving so much and you're not receiving anything, like the mom who's not thanked, or the caregiver who's never noticed, or what have you. And those are real situations. We're not playing church here. This is the real life,
mm-hmm.
But what if in that place of sacrifice, if you started to shift your heart, say, I'm not sacrificing. Mm-hmm. This is not a sacrifice. Maybe what if you change it to, this is my love language? And what if every time you change that baby's diaper or that spit or those situations with the elderly, if when you did that, inside of you you're thinking, oh, I'm receiving. Mm-hmm. I'm receiving this love. I'm receiving this care. Mm-hmm. I really believe that the process of shifting your mind to receiving while you're giving could be so revolutionary for you and so revelational for you that I think, now I've not been in this situation, so I'm not here to judge or criticize, but I think that scientifically and logically and spiritually, you could literally change so much that you'd have nothing but joy.
It's true.
That oscillation.
Yes, and there is actually lots of science about that. And what I hear in all of what you're saying is a spirit of gratitude. So being able to be grateful about your ability to help someone, or being grateful for, being of service to someone else, because it's really, I believe, a big part of our mission on earth is to be of service to others, because we're actually being in service to ourselves. And it's an external view of how we can be of service to ourselves by being of service to this other out here, when it's really, we're all connected anyway. So it's an illusion that there's an other. We're all together.
Shirley, you're also, so I'm serving you. That's actually serving me,
yes.
because we're one.
Yes. And, in the 3D reality where it appears you're over there and I'm over here, that we just get to work out the things inside of us that we can't be with, So if something is really pings me about you, it's really something inside of me that needs healing. And so you really are being of service to me by showing up for me in this way, so that I can actually
confront that
and transmute it.
This is a little different. This is definitely, in my opinion, this person's not a grace person like in our channel. But I was watching Joyce Meyer like 20-something years ago. And do you know who Joyce Meyer is?
She's a great speaker.
She's hilarious.
She is.
Okay.
She is hilarious.
She's just hilarious.
She is.
But she was talking about her early days. And I don't know how long her and her husband have been married. I think his name's David. Dave. So I think it's Dave. Anyway, it doesn't matter. He was watching like golf or he was watching something, and she was mad at him. He was ignoring her. She was mad at him, and she's vacuuming, and she intentionally goes into their little den, and she's vacuuming while he's watching this show, and he's just looking around her, watching it, and she's like, rah, rah, rah. And he's like, how can you do that? And he said something like, I can't help if God's using me to deliver you from all your demons.
Wow.
and it just made her more madder than a wet hornet.
Yes.
That was the early days. Because she was called to be the speaker and he was called to be the support, which doesn't always go well, even in religious circles. And so, of course, years later, she talked about how, and they are still in that camp, although she talks a lot about the mind, so whatever. Anyway, it was like, isn't that the truth?
Yes.
Whether it's a demon or not doesn't matter. There's still a thought behind it.
Yes.
And he's like, well, I'm just here to serve you, honey. I'm here to serve you, to prepare you for service, to prepare you for you having a global ministry, for you to face all this negative insecurity inside of you.
He was 100% correct.
He was.
He was 100% correct. And that happens, it's funny when we have people in our lives that react a certain way, and expect you to react a certain way, and you don't. It shuts the whole dance down, when you can actually see it for what it is. Like, the term we use in our family is, it's not my monkey, not my circus kind of thing. People want to hand you their monkey all the time. They want to hand it to you, and a lot of us take it and take it on like it's ours.
A monkey would be, just in case you're confused, if let's say you have guilt that's in the back of your mind simmering like a pot on the stove, and you don't know where it came from, and you don't know why it's there, and you don't know what it is, but it's always niggling at you. Well, that's an opportunity to take it out and go, why are you here?
Mm-hmm.
Because if you can get rid of the why, it won't have any place to stay.
It doesn't have any charge to it. And that's really where we want to get so that we can stand inside of a storm, because there's a storm around us right now.
Mm-hmm.
So that we can stand inside of this storm and just be a curious observer of what's going on, and being curious about it rather than, like you were saying at the beginning, reacting. And just, that's interesting. Like, I don't know if we talked about this, but I had an occasion recently where someone accused me of being racist.
Oh yeah, you did.
Okay.
I laughed when you said
Yeah.
it, like, really?
Yeah. So same thing. That person was trying to hand me their monkey,
Yeah.
and I'm like, it's a cute monkey, but
It's a deep work monkey, man.
Yeah, you keep it for now. I think it's better served with you. But we have these things all the time, and we can either reframe it into something where we're actually receiving whatever gift is inside of that, because every exchange there is a gift inside of
Mm-hmm.
it. If you're looking for it, you'll find it, but if you're not looking for it, it will occur to you in all the ways that are your monkeys. Like it'll, if somebody comes at you some way and you're like, they're just being this way or that way, and it's like, are they giving you an opportunity
to
like
look in the mirror?
Yes. Like if you pray for patience, you will have lots of opportunities. Your prayer being answered is a lot of opportunity for you to exercise patience will show up for you. That's what it looks like. It's not just like, and now you're patient, and there's no, because you have to have that experience of knowing yourself as being, quote, patient, so
That's
that you
right.
actually know yourself to be patient. It's not just a wash
show
on
up.
you. You have to have experience in real life for you to have that experience. So
I met with a lady. I was in Mexico this week, meeting with some other coaches, and we were doing a mastermind. It was really a unique opportunity to be around people from different places in the world that you're not normally around,
Mm-hmm.
from eating to personality to belief systems to personality, just so much. And I do observe a lot, and I'm more quiet than the norm in those kind of situations. Actually, lots of situations. Anyway, I was having a conversation with Sarah. We ended up driving back together, and she said to me when we were going to the airport, and she said, basically, if you watch this, Sarah, sorry if this isn't exactly what you said, but basically, perspective is everything. Mm-hmm. She said, diversity, you have no life without diversity, not diversity, excuse me, not sacrifice, not diversity, but when things happen to you and it forces you to develop yourself, what is that word? Not sacrifice, not destruction, not diversity. Oh my goodness, I love the way I started a conversation. I don't know the word used, but basically she was saying
it'll come to you.
Huh?
It'll come to you.
Basically, she was saying, if you don't have hardship, if you never have hardship, you basically never develop yourself.
Yes.
You can never be stronger. You can never really face yourself without a level of, and the word was not hardship, but
challenge, maybe?
It wasn't. It was like a adversity thing. Adversity.
That's your
Yay!
word. Told you to come to
Go, Donna. Go, Donna. I remembered it. Without adversity, you don't really have any development in yourself. And it was really, she's a very young woman, 32, 33 years old, very deep, very intentional. And she really, that was such a good word. And I thought, I agree, because we were discussing some other people we know in our lives that have what would seem to be such a hardship. Mm-hmm. And your heart wants to but it's not necessarily your walk, even though you can be part of the walk. And when we're talking about receiving and challenging things, I want to also share that there are times when like I had this challenge. So we were on a like a catamaran kind of situation, having a white party, and then you take your picture, then you got your swimsuits and you're rocking out, Anyway, this young woman was like holding on with one hand and just doing flips and things and acrobatic things and just, with all her tattoos and just beautiful. And I'm looking at her and I'm not triggered in a negative way. There's triggers that are positive and negative. And I was looking at her going, I want to be stronger. I was looking at her, and there was someone else like that too. They just had this, their stem cells are so rocking. I'm like, come on. There are some, it's not just, I thought, wow. It just again was like, Donna, you want to be stronger. So while I was watching her, I was receiving this thing inside of me, because I'm not strong, not physically, I'm not strong at this point. I could tell by my slowness in getting off the floor and things of that nature. My strength has been waning because I haven't been addressing it the last couple of years like I used to. And it just encouraged me, Donna, you too can be strong. It didn't make me, at first I wanted to think to myself, oh my goodness, I'm so weak. And I quickly, because I've been acknowledging it for a while, I quickly said, no, I'm so thankful that I'm moving into my strength. I mean, I reframed the whole, because someone my age who's half more their age could be going, wow, I used to be like that. Wow, I used to do those things. Wow, now I'm just an old lady. That's what happens, And so anyway, it was just a positive thing for me. The whole experience was positive. But someone may not have framed their world in a positive way. They could have walked away and went, wow, I'm not ever going to be able to do that ever,
Yes. And I love how you're reframing. It's all about your perspective and how you see it and how you choose to see it. And that's another big lesson here is your choice. It is your choice. And not making a choice is still a choice.
Oh my God, that's so good. And if you're sitting here and you're wondering, well, I'm this whole negative person, it doesn't have to be, 10 hours of therapy. You really, truly have the power to inside go, you know what? I'm changing my mind right now, and I'm going to move in a different direction from this point forward. You might be surrounded with adversity, but you can change your mind. Anyway, we'll see you next show. Bless you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for joining Your New Day with Donna Reiners and Dr. Cammie Owen. We look forward to seeing you next time. Remember, we solve all the world's problems, or maybe just one, and maybe it's yours. Until